yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, part 2 with Mark Ceylon.
Thank you. Like in the previous talk, disclaimer, do your own research. Although what I'm going to be talking about I have used and have evidence, don't believe what I say. Do your own research. If you try any of this stuff without doing the research, you could kill yourself. It's just a warning. Suppressed medical discoveries. And there are many, 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 many. These, you may have noticed, I've been wearing. They're called pinhole glasses. That's what they look like from the other side. Just little dots. Now, I see there's a few of you in the room wearing glasses. Do you need them for reading or long-sightedness, anyone? Who needs them for reading? Okay, well I might let you try these in a bit to read something. What happens? These cost about £11, so they're not expensive. This is from a company called jdharris.co.uk. And what happens is, as you get older than 36, that'll be you lot and not me, your eyes stop working, stop focusing because you don't use them. The muscles get a little bit lazy. So you go to the opticians and you get some glasses to do the focusing for you. Oh, well, that's great. Oh, wait. If they're doing the focusing, then your eyes are not focusing. And then shortly, you're going to need some more glasses, thicker glasses, to do some more focusing for you. What these do is they force your eyes to focus. That's why they're little pinholes. It can be a little bit tricky to get used to, but we're using these for about 20 minutes a day. I use them, I spend a lot of time on the computer reading stuff and all that type of thing. And I'm, like I say, I know I'm young at 36, but I still haven't got glasses. And a lot of that I think is down to these. So, these force your eyes to focus, and there is a booklet, I don't think I brought it with me, which gives you some eye exercises sort of thing, and that comes with the glasses anyway, and you do some practice, particularly if you like reading and you get used to them. It can be a little bit tricky at first, but when you get used to them, your eyes will become stronger to the point where you won't need the glasses you've got. It's like, think of it, if you've got muscle, you don't do an exercise because it's all flabby, and then you do some exercise, it tightens up again. Same thing happens with your eyes, and these will do it. Oh, hang on a second. I'll come and get it.
That's your action move.
Talk about having a dog and having to bowl yourself. This is the booklet. A few little exercises in it. Not very long. And of course, you may need the glasses to read this if you need it for glasses. It just shows you a few exercises that you do. For £11, you can't go wrong. You can also use them with sunglasses, but like all sunglasses, don't look directly at the sun. For some reason, we have to assume that everybody are idiots these days, otherwise we'll get I've gone blind, I was looking at the sun, and glasses you said, and this sent me blind. Hold on. Right. I did skip on to that.
Where are they available?
Off the internet, about £11, £10.95, jdharris.co.uk. You can get them cheaper off eBay, but they're Chinese, they're about £3 or £4. They're nowhere near as good a quality. Now, as you can see here, this is something called Salitair, a natural aid for asthma, allergies and other respiratory disorders. I have it here. I'll show you what it's like, if I can get it out. And I've said that before a few times. Upside down, wouldn't you know it? So this is what it looks like. Just an inhaler as you would. It's got air hold at the bottom there. You take that little cap off, you breathe through it while you're watching telly. This appeared on, what you breathe is these rock salt crystals. It's Romanian rock salt crystals. I'm not exactly sure what type. But when I did a talk on this in, or a booklet comes with it as well, in 2011 in Manchester, I was a lad there who had seen me do this health talk before, had 2 kids that had asthma. And he saw me do the kid, this talk about this Salitair. So if you know anyone that's got asthma, this is what you need. He had 2 kids with asthma. He got them 1 each. They cost about 20 quid, or it did when I got this a few years ago now. He got 1 each for his kids, and this is in the video where it was 3-month fight back. It's on one of my YouTube channels anyway, if you want to see it. And he got them for his kids, and within the first week, one of his kids had stopped using the inhaler and had stopped getting asthma attacks. The second, it took them a month. After a month, they occasionally got an attack, but shortly after that, both were cured of asthma. Oh wait, I can't say that word cure, can I? Because apparently there's no cures. It alleviated the asthma, except they'll tell you he cured it. Now, that's great, isn't it? A cure for asthma. Because apparently there's no cure out there. But there you go.
You breathe in and then have to blow out, not breathe back down through it.
You breathe in through the mouth and out through your nose.
Right.
Now, a natural remedy that's been around for thousands of years for many, many issues, oil pulling. This is interactive, so if we can have a show of hands, who's heard of oil pulling? So the rest of you haven't, right? Oil pulling is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Coconut oil in particular, but you can use 2 other types of oil. I can't recall what they are at this moment, but you get about a teaspoon of coconut oil, virgin organic coconut oil. It's about £6 for a 500 gram tub, and you put a tablespoon of that or a couple of teaspoons into your mouth, and it's solid at first, but then within about 10-20 seconds it comes into a liquid. And you just swish it around your mouth, in and out your teeth and around your mouth. It's antibacterial, antiviral, antifungus. And if you've got bad breath, it gets rid of that as well. Gingivitis. What it also does, it whitens your teeth. And it does something else as well as all that. It pulls heavy metal out of your body. Now, if you're going to use this, I was actually watching, I was going to put a video on about this, but it was a little bit long for, it's only 5 minutes, but it's too long for the subjects he was talking about. But they were pointing out that even if you just do it for 10 minutes, now there is a little bit of a gag factor because you're swilling it around your mouth. It's very important that you don't swallow it, because you're pulling crap out of your body, and that's because your gums are attached to every other part of your body. The whole body is attached to everything else, and it's pulling crap out of your body. When you've done it, ideally you do it for around 20 minutes, and then spit it down the drain, not the drain, into the toilet. Have a glass of water, wash your mouth out with the water, spit that out, and brush your teeth as well afterwards if you want to. I don't bother because you don't need to, but you can if you want. So, it whitens your teeth. There is a video on YouTube of a guy who had developed, where it's all black and that, and his wife was into oil pulling. She told him to do it, and the actual black decay within, I think, about 6 weeks actually dropped away and cured it. Also, if you have loose teeth, doing this oil pulling will strengthen the muscles and your gums back up, and they'll tighten around your teeth. But don't swallow it. There's loads of information out there. As I said, do your own research. I'm just sharing stuff that I've actually done. There's something coming up now, which is this. Or that. Black seed oil. This is a sativa oil. For sativa, of course, you're all thinking cannabis. No, it's not cannabis. It's from the turmeric seed, turmeric black seeds. It makes this is an organic one. This costs £20. This is absolutely amazing stuff. If you have any external problem like itching, if you're itching, and I'll just put that down. I was lying in bed one night, and I had as a bloke, I had an area that was itching. I'm sure the blokes know exactly what area I'm talking about. And I'd give it a scratch, and I thought, I'm going to try that flaxseed oil. So I went downstairs, I put a little bit in my hand, and I massaged the offending area, and it stopped itching instantly. Instantly stopped itching, never itched again that night. You can also take it internally. It is extremely beneficial. In fact, if you want to find out more information about this particular one, if you look up on YouTube 101 black seed oil benefits, you'll find a video. One's on my channel, one's on this health channel, explaining all these benefits that this stuff has, and you will be absolutely amazed at the benefits of this stuff. I mentioned that it was from the black seed turmeric family. This is the turmeric I use, which I haven't brought with me because there's a picture of it there, but that is the one I use, Lucy P. Organic, fair trade, and all the rest of the stuff that goes with it. This stuff, now, I can't say cure because there was an act in 1939 called the Cancer Act that says if you say there's a cure for cancer, you will go to prison. This stuff alleviates cancer. Now, you'll notice it's titled turmeric and black pepper. There's a reason for that. If you mix it with black pepper, and if you say got a teaspoonful of turmeric, organic turmeric, that will cost you, by the way, it's about £6, but that will last you a long time, although it's actually usually only filled up to around about there. You mix a teaspoon of turmeric with an eighth of a teaspoon of black pepper, you mix it together and you ingest it, whichever way you like. I've actually got a capsule maker where I fill capsules with it, turmeric and black pepper. The reason for the black pepper is the piperine in the black pepper makes the turmeric 2,000% more bioavailable, which means it's more absorbed into your body. And there are videos on YouTube of men and women from around the world that have used this and have cured cancer.
And you not use it, as it were, when you're cooking?
Absolutely. In fact, but again, I would add the black pepper. I actually had some mashed potatoes and I added some of this with the black pepper and mixed it all in. It made it turn a little bit yellowish, but actually it tasted even better than it did anyway. I mean, the mashed potatoes are delicious anyhow, but this has so many health benefits. It doesn't just cure cancer, it's got so many other properties, but I'm not here to tell you what it does, or well, I'll tell you a little bit what it does. You have to do the research yourself. Look up, again, there are loads of videos out there, men and women from all over the world talking about how to use this, and it's cured many issues, shall we say. Now, the next ingredient is something absolutely as astounding as this, maybe even better. Sodium bicarbonate. I haven't brought it with me because I've used it all. Sodium bicarbonate by itself is an amazing powder. It needs to be like this, it needs to be organic. If you get the stuff in the shops, it'll have aluminium and all sorts of crap added to it as well. So you get it off the internet, it's only somewhere between £3 and £5. This stuff will cure cancer. Do you know why it cures cancer? Show of hands if you know why. Oh, yeah, I thought you two would. What it does is it raises your pH. Cancer can only exist in an acid environment. So if you've got an acidic body, you're prime target for cancer. But you'll notice it's sodium bicarbonate and maple syrup. Again, a video on one of my channels of a guy in Australia who had been sent home from hospital to die. He had stage 4 cancer. They said, there's nothing we can do with you, go away and die. He looked around and he found this, well not this exact one, he actually found bicarbonate of soda and molasses, but he couldn't get any molasses, so he used maple syrup instead. The maple syrup acts as a Trojan horse. What the cancer cells do, cancer is fed by sugar, sweet things, yeah? Do you know that? Do you all know that? Then why in hospitals, if you're suffering from cancer, do they feed you sweet food?
To kill you off.
To kill you off, exactly. Right, the maple syrup mixed together, it's, if I remember correctly, it is 1 teaspoon of maple syrup to 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Mix it together in a paste and either put it in capsules, or if you can eat it by yourself or mix it in some food, just get it inside you. First thing it does is raises your pH. Second thing it does, I said the maple syrup acts as a Trojan horse. The cancer goes, oh sweet, we can grow, we can get bigger, we can kill this guy quicker, or girl. So it gobbles it up. Then it realises that the maple syrup had baking soda in it, which raises the pH and kills the cancer. Again, look it up on YouTube, loads of talking about it.
Would it work if you used honey?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Doesn't have just some sort of sweet liquid. Like I said, originally it was molasses. You tried that, so yes, honey should, in theory, work just as well. This is my sodium ascorbate. You know what sodium ascorbate is, yeah? Pure vitamin C. Have a teaspoon of this if you can take it straight in your mouth, just take it. If you want to mix it in some water, fine. Get plenty of this in you, and you won't get coughs, colds, flus. You won't need that fluid injection, which doesn't work, as was pointed out by Alex, because if it worked, why are they stopping kids, particularly in America at the moment, but it'll be coming over here. If your kid hasn't had the vaccinations, you can't come to school. But wait, if all your schools had the vaccinations, what does it matter if I've not had them? That tells you in itself they know it doesn't work. It's a way of depopulating the planet, a way of killing you quicker. Again, on eBay, again, less than a £5. You should be stocking up on this stuff and have it at home, and you take it any way you want, you like.
How is that produced then?
I have no idea, I just know it's pure vitamin C. Argan oil. Anyone heard of it? Comes from Morocco. Ooh.
Heard of it, I don't know what it is.
It's argan oil, I've just told you. Argan oil is particularly good for your skin, your nails, and is actually used in expensive shampoos. You start putting some of this in your hair, and you know, when you comb your hair, or you brush your hair, and then you've got all them pesky hairs that fell out your head. Some of you know this far more than others. That's because your hair's weak, because of all the crap you pour on it. But with that stuff, you put a few drops in your hands, massage it into your hair. Within a week, combing or brushing your hair, you'll see less and less hairs falling out to the point where no hair will fall out at all. If you are follically challenged, it is supposed to improve the growth. Me not being follically challenged and only 36 means that I've not been able to test that one. However, there is another ingredient which has slipped my mind at the moment. It's a leaf, and I have put a video out about it where you get this leaf and you make a substance out of it, massage it into your hair, and it will make your hair grow 5 or 10 times quicker, and even rejuvenate your hair follicles, as also the argan oil will do as well. So, and as I said, it is good for your skin as well, so, you know, if nothing else, you're giving your head a good liquid. Who knows or has heard Again, this is by a show of hands, and of course I know because I'm talking about it. Who's heard of the Atlas bone? Yes, you went with me to get yours done, so don't be cocky.
The Atlas what?
Atlas bone.
Bone.
Bone. That's it there. Now, if you want to talk conspiracies, this is the mother of many conspiracies. The Atlas bone is a bone at the top of your neck. Your head has two bones that are like that, and it fits into two holes at the top of your neck. But apparently, everyone somehow has been misaligned, so only one fits into the correct position. And this causes all sorts of problems. And where the conspiracy comes in, it is suggested, and this is not me saying this is what I've looked at and read about it, whether it's right or wrong, I'm just sharing with you, that aliens in some millions of years or whenever ago altered us so that unless your bone is correct in the first place, your children will also have their bone just missing, so it's only sitting in one. Now I went to a place like this to have my Atlas bone corrected, basically put back in place, and it was absolutely amazing. It hurt like shit as well, but that was because I was being a bit cocky, and she gets this big vibrator, almost like a dildo, and she starts zzz in your neck to loosen the muscle to try and move the bone into place. And of course it was a little bit of comfort, but it wasn't on its highest setting. She says, is that okay, or do you want me to turn it up a bit? Me being a man, yeah, turn it up. Oh! I'm just dead. Yeah, that's not hurting. Inside, I'm crying. She works it away and works it away until eventually it gets back in. Now before she did this, we were sat in a chair, and she says, can you look over your left shoulder as far as you can? Can you look over your right shoulder as far as you can? And I did that. And it was a certain distance. After I had it done, it was like I could virtually turn my head round behind me like an owl. And this is instantly, it happened. At the time, it was quite a few years ago now, I can't remember exactly, it may even be 10 years ago now. But it was £120, amazing. It also, health-wise, is very beneficial. Whether you're aware or not, our bodies are electrical, and with it being, the bone being offset, it interferes with our electrical system. When it's back in its correct place, your electrical system of the body works better. Just think of it, if you've got a plug socket and one of the wires is loose, well, it sort of like works sometimes and doesn't the others. Same thing with this. Again, if you're interested, look it up yourself. Here's the rest of the pamphlet, rather than show you here. If you want to have a read of that, you can do.
So do they manipulate the neck as well, or do they?
It just vibrates and loosens the neck muscle enough so that they can then push the bone back into position. You then have another check-up a month later where she checks it again to make sure it's still in position, and if it is, it's in position for good. And there's the method and self-healing process and regeneration. Body cells and organs do not, however, regenerate overnight. So you've got to. Basically, apparently, I'm indestructible. More information about it. Who's heard of Joanna Budwig? I have. Yeah, you don't have to put your hand up. You live with me. Joanna Budwig was a doctor, a German doctor, that in the 1950s discovered a cure for cancer. Oh, wait a minute. If there were cures out there, why is cancer research still robbing all this money off everyone? Dr. Budwig discovered a diet that cured cancer. What she was doing is she was looking at ill people's blood and healthy people's blood, and she noticed in the ill there were a couple of enzymes that were missing. So she looked into nature to see if she could create these enzymes and find out what effect that had. And she found out, with a mixture of cottage cheese, I would suggest organic, but The better the quality, the better the results. Or quark. It's escaped me, the oil. Flaxseed oil. That's it, flaxseed oil. Mixing these two ingredients together and then ingesting it creates the missing ingredients that was in the ill people's blood. She cured many of cancer. Yes, she cured. She's dead now, but she cured them, so you can't go after her, and I'm not saying it, she cured them. She was in America at the time, she went to Congress, told them about them. You know what they did? Chased her out the country. Governments do not want you healthy, they do not want you alive, you are a parasite to them. There are many cures for cancer, as you will find out. Anyone heard of Gerson therapy? Okay. The Gerson therapy was created by Dr. Max Gerson in the 1920s. What Dr. Gerson did is he suffered with migraines. So he went through nature looking for a diet to try and cure his migraines. And surprisingly, he came up with an organic vegetable diet that cured his migraines. And you think, wow, that's amazing by itself. So, he had some of his patients come and they were saying, well, I've got a migraine, anything you do? He said, oh, I've got this diet, just so happens I used to have them, I've got this diet which I now use, and he'd give them the details of the diet. There are Gerson clinics, by the way, all over the world. Not in America, because they don't want any healthy Americans. There is one in Mexico, though. There's one in the Netherlands. There's one in Japan. I'm sure there's one in Spain now.
Not in Britain.
No, it's not. Yeah, them and the Americans, they're of the same ilk. And so he gave this diet to the patients who had migraines, and they'd go away. And then come back and go, yeah, Doc, it worked! I don't get migraines anymore. And he'd go, yeah, I know, great to hear. And then one time, this particular patient came back to him and says, Doc, yeah, it cured my migraines, but I also have cancer. And I'm not got cancer anymore either. What? I'll give you if I can think of it. There's a film on YouTube. It's called Dying to Have Known. This was a film producer that did documentaries, and he'd heard about the Gerson therapy. And so he thought, yeah, if it was real, we'd know about it. Because we know that we only get the real news in the newspapers. And they would tell us if there was a cure. So he decided he'd expose the Gerson therapy. So he started doing a documentary. And seriously, look at the film, you will be blown away. What this guy did, he went to the one in Mexico. This has actually done a bit of research, and he soon realised that maybe the newspapers weren't telling the truth. And he went to this Mexican clinic, and if you say the wall from there to here, with files that deep, a whole wall of patients that had been cured using the Gerson therapy of cancer. And he said, can I get the names of a couple of these, so I can go and interview them? And they said, yeah, sure, just go and pick a couple, we'll call them up, see if they're willing to talk, and if they are, away you go. Obviously we can't give the details until they've said yes, there's no point. So they got two were picked, he went off and interviewed them, and apparently they had cancer, and they're now cancer-free. There's a book out, this is another cure, and this touches on, we were talking about the law of attraction earlier. There's a film called The Secret. In this film, There's a Japanese lady who was telling her story about she had breast cancer. And once she was diagnosed with that, she thought, oh no, I'm going to die. Or I'll have to have my tits removed. However, she'd heard about the law of attraction, and the law of attraction is basically positive thinking. So she decided, this isn't the secret, it's in the film, you can see it in her own words, clips of it are available on YouTube. I just happened to have a copy, I'm sure if anyone was interested I could somehow manage to put it on a cloud or something like that and get you a copy yourselves, if I could figure out how to do that, that is. And she tells you how she knew, and this we all know, laughter is a cure. So her and her partner decided to just sit down and watch comedies and laugh and laugh and laugh. She had no treatment, none of the toxic poisons, chemo, radiotherapy, none of that crap. And she shows the X-ray, which also poisons you and kills you and gives you cancer, by the way, of a lump before and a lump 3 months later that wasn't there anymore because she no longer got cancer without any drugs. I would suggest she was probably eating a lot healthier as well, but that is another cure for cancer. This, the secret to healing cancer, me and my friend have actually done a video about that. That is also about positive thinking and the secret to healing cancer. Now, in the actual, the reason I mentioned The Secret, it's also a book out there as well. In the film, it's an American guy, he's a wealthy guy, he's got his own light aircraft, and he has a problem and he crashes and he's in the hospital, he can't move anything. He's using machines to make him breathe, the doctors tell him, you're going to be a vegetable for the rest of your life, do you want us to kill you? That's how serious it was. And the machine is breathing for him, he can't even speak, he was that badly smashed up. All he could do was blink his eyes, and so he spelt out the words. I don't know exactly what date it was, this was what he was in, but it was within a year, bear in mind, he couldn't do anything but blink his eyes, and he spelt out the word, I will walk out before Christmas. The doctors thought he was mad. He kept thinking to himself, come on lungs, breathe, breathe. And in a while, after a while, I don't know the exact time, it may tell you in the film, it's a long time since I watched it, his respirator was no longer needed anymore, he'd started to breathe himself. He then decided the rest of his body was going to start working. He saw himself walking out of that hospital. On Christmas Eve, he walked out of that hospital. Any of you heard of Miracle Mineral Supplement? You two have heard of everything. Miracle Mineral Supplement, created by a guy called Jim Humble. This stuff apparently cures cancer. Now it's chlorine dioxide. Very important you don't confuse it with another chlorine that's out there, because that will kill you. This apparently is available, you can buy it on eBay, I checked before I came. And basically what you do is you have one drop of sodium of chlorine dioxide and 1 drop of activating solution, which is a citric acid, for instance. 7 drops of citric acid. And you mix them together and you neck it. And you build up gradually to 15 drops of one and 15 times 7 drops of the other. And then you take it down. Now I was at a meeting 8 to 9 years ago now. I wasn't talking, I was just there to see what was being said. And I sat down next to this bloke about 64, thereabouts, maybe even retired. we got chatting, and he'd used this stuff. However, he said, I couldn't be arsed starting up with one job and building up to 15, so I just went straight for 15 drops of the chlorine dioxide and 15 times 7 drops of the activation liquid. And I nipped it. I thought, yeah, it's doing you worse. And he said, and I sat there, and my legs felt like they were on fire. My whole body was on fire. My eyes were watering. Sand seemed to be coming out of my eyes. I was rubbing, and this sand stuff kept coming out of my eyes, and I couldn't explain it. By the way, Jim Humble originally invented this, or discovered this, as a cure for malaria. Yeah, it cures malaria as well. Anyway, he's telling a story of how he's there, and it goes on for about half an hour where his whole body's on fire. And then he says, a few weeks later, I had to go to the optician's. And the opticianist comes round, she gets a light thing and magnifying whatever glass in. She looks into his eye, and she looked a bit confused, and she comes back, looks in the other eye, back to the other eye, back to this eye. She said, where's your cataracts gone? It had dissolved. It's cataract. Now this is someone's first-hand information to me. I'm not saying this, I'm only going on what he said. And I've got no reason to doubt that he was telling the truth. But it's also been used, and it's cured malaria in many countries, it's cured AIDS, and apparently it cures cancer. Jim Humble was giving it away in a certain African country, when Big Pharma came along and said, if you don't kick it out of this country, we're not giving you any more money. After it cured 100,000 people, so they kicked him out of the country. They don't want you well, they don't want you healthy, they want you dead. Apart from you two, who's heard of colloidal silver?
Oh, that I've never heard of.
Ah, a few more. Yeah, right. But the two aren't interacting. I think they probably are. They're just not interacting for some reason. I think they're scared of that. Colloidal silver. This is the book. That's the front and back of the book. Tells you all about it in here. I have not had a cough, cold or sore throat. I've had the start of one, but I've not had a cough, cold or sore throat in about 15 years. And I don't look after myself as good as I should. I try. But I do like some poisons. With colloidal silver, it has been well known that silver kills viruses, bacteria and pathogens. In fact, you remember the saying, oh, he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Well, the rich people used to eat off silver knives, forks and spoons, and they used to get some silver particles in their body which killed the viruses, bacteria and pathogens. Which is exactly what colloidal silver does. Now, the way it works is I have a device that creates it, I make my own colloidal silver, and I make myself a pint at a time. What I do, I use the device, I get a pint glass, fill it with water, put these 2 pure silver rods through the top of the device, plop them in the water, turn it on, leave it for 10 minutes, come back, take it off, and I've got a pint of colloidal silver. Then I'll sit reading on the internet, or watching telly, or doing whatever I'm doing, and usually over an hour I'll sit away at the colloidal silver, I'll swirl it around my mouth, I'll swallow it, I'd swallow it all, by the way. And then by the time I finish that pint, whatever it was, cough, cold, sore throat, it was gone. Killed it off. This is the device I use. RSG2. Now it's called RSG2, and RSG stands for Research Signal Generator. Because if they told you what this device does, they wouldn't be allowed to sell it. So it's for research purposes only. Oh, and it also makes colloidal silver. As you can see here, can you? Oh yeah, just there and there are two holes. Just here and here, there are two holes where you pop two of these rods, one through that hole, one through that hole, rest it on top of your glass of water.
Still,
I'll get to that in a moment. Of water, and 10 minutes later you've made yourself colloidal silver. Now, I have my own still, I make my own distilled water. Because I make my own distilled water, when I've made myself a glass of colloidal silver, you look at it and it looks like just water. It may have a slight metallic taste if you've got really good taste buds, may not if you haven't. If you haven't got distilled water and you use tap water, you will see a silver grey mist appear in the glass. This is because the positively charged silver ions, basically you're performing a type of electrolysis. These two rods have electricity passed between them, and the positively charged silver ions are coming off one of the silver rods, and it's being left in the water. And the reason there's this grey silver mist is because tap water has millions or at least thousands of other things in it that aren't good. And they're negatively charged. So the positively charged silver ions are automatically attracted to the negatively charged crap, and they join together, and because it's heavier than water, it then floats to the bottom. In the bottom third of the glass, you'll see a grey mist. And what you have to do if you're doing that, give it a quick stir up and sip away at it for about an hour. That will kill viruses, bacteria, pathogens. That is absolutely awesome. Now, for those taking notes, RSG2, it'll cost you about 199 Canadian dollars. It'll also cost you about £40 import duty, because the taxman likes to rob us every chance he gets. However, if you've got any friends in the States or Canada, and you can send them the money, they buy it for you and send it to you with a value of 20 quid, you won't pay any import duty, which is what I did. And it's, like I said, it's called a research signal generator and colloidal silver pulsar. In the side there you can see this couple of holes, and what you do is you plug that in to the appropriate one. The bottom one is silver, so if you didn't want to rest it on top of the glass for whatever reason, you can plug that in, attach your two silver rods to the other end, and make your own colloidal silver that way. And the other one is a pulsar. Now, if you're going to get this, because I found out about this about 2004, 2005. And when I saw the video, which is available on YouTube, it's 1 hour 57 minutes long. The name you should be looking up and writing down here is Bob Beck. It's 1 hour 57 minutes and so many seconds long. Look it up, watch it, you will be blown away. You will not believe or struggle to believe what you are hearing. The video was created in 1991. And he's talking about, he made devices, not as sophisticated as this. These devices were just plain pulsars, or Beck devices. And he made them, and he would give them away to people, free of charge, that had got AIDS. Because he understood, he was a doctor of science, not a medical doctor, a doctor of science. He understood how it worked, and how to cure AIDS. Basically, again, you plug that in, you've got these two one there and the other one is there. Now, you put a Velcro strap round your wrist and you put them in some cotton sheaths because you don't want the metal on your skin by itself. So you put them on your wrist with a Velcro strap and it pulses away. And it pulses at 4 Hertz. There are two other settings, 16 Hertz and 100 Hertz. They both do different things or have different feelings. The 4 Hertz is the most powerful. So he created this device to cure AIDS, which he does. And this was in 1991. But I thought AIDS was incurable. Watch the video, you will be gobsmacked. I don't want to spoil it for you. It is absolutely astounding what he tells you. I'm not going to tell you all because we could be here all night. He gave these devices free to people he knew who had AIDS, who went away and he didn't see for a few months. And they'd come back and see him, or he'd bump into him. And they'd go up to him, Bob, I can't believe it. I've not got AIDS anymore. And Bob, in a very congenial line, said, yeah, I know, I'm a doctor of science. I understand. And then one day, one of the guys or girls, I don't know whether it was a guy or girl, he gave the device to, came and said, Bob, I've not got AIDS anymore. And Bob said, yeah, I know, that's cool. He said, no, Bob, you're not listening. I had cancer, Mum, it's cured cancer. It's cured my cancer. Now, you're probably thinking, come on, if there was a cure for cancer, it'd be on the news. Cancer research won't be still robbing us of money. Oh, I did show you. I've got one. About 6 months after I got it, someone I know was ill. And they went to the doctors, and the doctor sent them to hospital. And the hospital ran all these tests. And the hospital says, go home, your doctor will call you when the results come through. And sometime later, the doctor called up and says, can you come in for your results? And can you bring someone with you? Now, if ever you get that call, you know there's something not good the doctor's going to be saying to you. So this woman took her daughter to the doctor's with her. And they went in. And he got the x-ray out. And he popped it up on the machine, their live machine. And he says, you see this big black mass here? And she goes, yeah. He goes, oh, well, that's cancer. I want to be back at the hospital in a week's time to see how aggressive it is, how much it's spread. As you can imagine, they were a little devastated. There was her and her daughter, they took with her. And they came out of the doctors, and they're like, oh my. Just so happened that they knew me. They knew the missus over there. And they called everyone up. Mama's gonna die, Mama's gonna die. They called me up. Mama's gonna die. She got lung cancer. I said, don't worry about it, we'll use a Bob device. She said, you're effing crazy and hung up. Now, Mum, hypochondriac by the way, didn't believe it, doesn't believe it to this day, believe it or not. And I said to her, well, why don't you come down and try it? Now, when Bob Beck first was talking about this device, he believed it would take you 30 days using it to cure cancer. But later on, in some of his later videos, where he'd done a lot more research and cured a lot more men and women and children of cancer, he realised it would take 5 days to cure cancer. Now, the woman came down and tried it. Like I say, it's a long time ago now. I can't remember if it was, she came down to 3 days or 4 days. But she came down, it's supposed to be 5 days, she came down and she had it for 2 hours. Now, when it's on your wrist, you need to alternate wrists each time you're using it, once a day, for 2 hours a day. And you don't start off with using it for 2 hours if you're very ill. There is a term for it, the term slips me now, it's a medical term, but it means you've killed so much crap in your body can't deal with it, it's nowhere to go and it can kill you. So you would build up to 2 hours if you're really, really ill. However, she seemed fine, and at the time, I'd actually forgot to try and build it up, but she was going back to hospital in a week, so we'll go straight in for 2 hours. So she has it on her wrist for 2 hours, goes home, comes back the next day, has it on a wrist for another 2 hours, goes home, comes back the next day, has it on a wrist for another 2 hours, and then she either goes home and came back the next day or not. And like I said, it was about 12 years ago, maybe longer now. And then she didn't come back. And the following day, she's back at the hospital. And the hospital were perplexed, to say the least. They ran the tests, and they said, there's something wrong. They went and spoke to the doctor, and the doctor says, run again and run some other tests as well. They ran it again and ran some other tests as well. Remember, this is first-hand knowledge. This is not me saying that somebody told me this, that heard it from someone else. And the doctor said, we must have made a mistake. You've not got cancer anymore, or you've never had it in the first place. We don't know what the mistake is. We must have just made an error. The woman and her daughter swear blind she never had cancer. They're saying that this device didn't do anything. This is the same daughter that phoned up crying that her mother was going to die. So that cures cancer. But if they put that on the label, they couldn't sell it. When I first saw the video, I would have thought, oh, come on, I was a little bit naive back then. I thought, oh, come on, if that did that, it'd be on the news. How naive we were, how brainwashed we've been. I think there's a question.
Have you got to stop taking the medication when you use that, or does it multiply the medication?
It does, so again, don't try this without watching that video. It does say you have to be off medication for 48 hours, and that's because it amplifies whatever goes into your body.
All medications?
All medications. Someone was asking me that got AIDS over the internet recently about it, and I said, well, yeah, you got to, but that means I've got to stop taking me toxic, poisonous drugs. And I said, yeah. Just for 2 days though. Oh no, I'm not doing that. We are so brainwashed. Now one of the things in the video he said, he gave it to his friend and he was telling his friend, this guy didn't have any problems, apart from he liked to beer. Speaking of which, please. Now his bloke liked his beer, and he could do, well he claimed he could do 12 to 14 pints, no problem. So Bob told him about this, how it clears your system and amplifies anything in your body. And he thought, I'll try that then. Puts it on while he's driving, thinks, I'll have a couple of beers before he goes. Knocks his couple of beers back, has it on, he's driving down the road. We're talking 2 beers. After about half an hour, he has to pull over and stop. He's pissed out of his face. This is why you have to stop taking medication if you're going to use this device. Because you take 1 hour aspirin, while you're using that, it amplifies it to something like 10 to 20 times. So you could actually poison yourself on aspirin, paracetamol, whatever drugs you're taking. So you have to come off for at least 48 hours, including, I'll be back. So you have to come off whatever you're taking, including herbal stuff, for 48 hours before you use that device. However, I've just told you a first-hand knowledge of it curing someone of cancer. I've used it on myself. Every now and again, you do think you're bulletproof. You know, you don't get cross colds or sore throats for so long, and you get one coming, you think, yeah, I can beat it. I'm Superman, I am. And sometimes I let it go too far before I actually try doing something about it. And when that happens, even the colloidal silver can struggle to kick it. And so what I do then, I'll have my colloidal silver, and I'll zap myself as well. And I guarantee after that, no pathogens, viruses or bacteria are in my body. Bob Beck claimed it purified his blood so much, it got rid of all the crap in his blood. Bob, by the way, was a 300-pound bloke originally. And when he used to travel on an airplane, he used to have to get a seatbelt extender. He used the device on himself, and when given his video, it's as thin as that. And he suggests that we all have, and we do, have bacteria and parasites living in our body. And he claims that the bacteria and parasites were eating all the nutrients from his food. Because once he zapped himself, he got rid of all the parasites. He didn't need to eat as much food because he was getting the nutrients from the food he was eating, and he lost all his weight. He put colloidal silver on his head as well. He was as bald as some in here. That you look in the video, he's got a full head of hair. He claims his hair fully regrew. That's putting colloidal silver on him and zapping himself. I'm not saying this is in his video. Check it out yourself. However, I've told you, I've seen it cure cancer. You make of that what you know.
How does it run? Is it battery or?
9-volt battery. You can run it off the mains, but you need to get a adapter and charger. I use it occasionally. I haven't used it for 3 or 4 months now. Sometimes I just sat myself just to check that I'm still alive. Because on me and most of the people, men and women that I've used it on, as it's zapping you, your hand goes like that. And that's because the muscles are intertwined and there's electric current passing through. And as I said earlier, we're all electrical beings. It forces that. There was one girl I used it on that her hand didn't move, and I was shocked because I've used it myself and many. I can only assume that her muscles weren't intertwined, or she was a robot, or not human. There you go, that's what it looks like. You can see the 2 holes there and there. They're the 4 modes, 4 Hz, 16 Hz, 100 Hz. That's for the colloidal silver. On-off is around the side there. That's where you plug it in for the pulsar, and that's for the silver. And that's the company's Scarna Research. I checked it out recently. It is still $199.
What is the name? Sorry again.
Scarna, SCADA Research.
10 o'clock.
Okay, I better be one a bit quicker. Run from the Cure, this is actually the last one I think anyway. Who's heard of Run from the Cure? It's on YouTube. Right. Cannabis is illegal because it cures cancer. Rick Simpson made an oil out of cannabis.
Phoenix Tears.
Phoenix Tears, yeah. And he's cured over 10,000 people of cancer using cannabis oil. It has many other benefits, as well as making you high, which is a very enjoyable state. I have actually partaked, because I don't smoke. But I have partaked, and it was very enjoyable. In fact, I have actually time travelled on it. Well, it felt like it anyway.
So that has not only CBD but THC.
THC, which is the one you want, believe you me.
Well, I'm being the party pooper because, as Ceylon noted, it's past 10 o'clock now, and we ordinarily like time for questions and time for networking, but we normally finish by 10:30. Certainly, I got the sense in the audience that when we talk about cancer, a lot of people become very uncomfortable because of what we have been told, how society views it, and that there's a lot of charlatans out there giving people false hope and making them think there is a cure and all they've got to do is pay X number of pounds and suddenly everything will be fine. However, what I would encourage you, if you've got that sort of, oh God, I'm never coming here again, you don't believe what they were talking about, think about it from the other avenue. And the other avenue is that there is a lot of money to be made, not by the alleged charlatans, but by the pharmaceutical companies and, as Ceylon has said, the charities. And you've got to flip how you perceive this, because the pharmaceutical companies are there to make a profit.
So the charities.
Now, basic bottom line, just consider this as a possible way to explain what the hell is going on with this suppression of information about cancer cures. The pharmaceutical companies do not see you as human beings. They see you as revenue streams. How do they make the most money out of every single one of us? Keep us sick. And if you put that into the equation and go, okay, let me accept that as the possible scenario that we're dealing with. It's corporate crime in the pharmaceutical industry is the book to look out. It was out of print for ages. Write that one down. Corporate crime in the pharmaceutical industry. It's been reprinted recently. It's about 20 odd quid on Amazon. But it was exchanging hands for hundreds of pounds at the start of this decade. I was lucky I got mine for 99p because someone didn't know what they got. But the bottom line is, the reason that book exchanged hands before its reprint for so much money was that certain companies bought up the entire print run. So you could not get it easily.
Just keep printing it, that sounds good.
Well, there was an embargo not to reprint. That was basically part of buying the print run. So that's why the door has slammed, and I have no idea how this book has been allowed to be reprinted now.
Where did you say it was available?
Amazon's got it. Corporate crime in the pharmaceutical industry. You will get an insight with that book of the mindset which backs up what I am saying, which is you are not a human being, you are a revenue stream. It is all about profit. How do you maximise profit? Keep you sick.
That way of thinking goes across all